Hey everyone, it's WX Brad here, Brad Panovich, Chief Meteorologist at NBC Charlotte with your ski and snowboard forecast for the weekend, and it's not good news, I'll be honest with you. We talked about that earlier in the week. We have a really warm pattern setting up for the east, so I don't want to focus too much on the negative, which is this weekend. The good news is Snowshoe opened up and they've got some snow, and most areas in the east have had a little bit of snowmaking, but it's been a horrible start to the season. Let's not, make any bones about it. It's been a bad start. So are we going to see some changes? That's what I want to focus on today. First things first, we look at the GFS model, which has a big trough in the west, but a big ridge of high pressure over the southeast. This is why we're not seeing any snow right now. We actually have strong southwesterly flow. This is the blowtorch. This is really keeping us nice and warm and toasty if you like warm temperatures. But here's the good news. And you probably saw me, if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, talk about the North Pacific. And oftentimes, if you're going to see a pattern change, you need a big storm to develop in the Aleutian Arc, which is the Aleutian Islands off of Alaska. Sometimes recurving typhoons will do this, but we've got this monster low which is moving into the Bering Sea, and this is really going to help kickstart or buckle the jet stream downstream and eventually cause some big changes for the eastern U.S. I mean, this is a monster storm. Just for instance, the pressure there is 928 millibars in the middle. That is unbelievable. That would be a Cat 5 hurricane if it was over warm water. So this is going to help buckle the jet stream in the eastern U.S. So we'll go back to the U.S. and you can see our big storm system, and really the west has just been hammered. It was storm after storm after storm clobbering the western U.S. So we're going to see rain with this storm heading in on Monday into Tuesday. So this weekend it's warm. There's no snow, no snowmaking in the forecast this weekend. This is all liquid precip for the mountains of the southeast. But watch what happens as we go towards the middle of next week. We start to see those changes start to develop in the pattern. We start to see lows getting a little bit deeper and farther to the southeast, all thanks to that buckling of the jet stream done by that low over the Bering Strait. So watch what happens in the middle of next week. It turns a little bit cooler. I do think there'll be some snowmaking opportunities during the overnights, but here's what has me excited. A week from today, let's go all the way out to next Thursday and Friday, the 17th and 18th. So we start getting towards next week. We've got a storm system, but there's cold air on the back side of this. This low actually has the potential to bring some natural snow to the mountains. It may start as rain here, which they often do, but as the low cranks up and goes off the coast, we're actually going to start to see cold air spill on the backside. So this is a real good sign. This is chilly air coming in on the backside. And if you look, this is a rain-snow mix starting to develop in the mountains of the southeast. And again, this is early next Friday. And if you look here, this is great news. The low cranks up on the coast, and now we start getting that northwest flow. We're getting the lakes involved as well, which is always great for northwest flow snow. I think this is probably underdoing it. This is the snow associated with the low. But if you look carefully, the isobars here, we've got really a cold air coming over the Great Lakes, which means the northwest event or northwest flow event on the backside of this low is probably going to look more impressive than the synoptic low, which is moving through. So look at this. This is into Saturday next week. We still got snow moving into the mountains of the southeast. And again, I'm going to go out, and there's still northwest flow on the backside of this. There's snow lingering all the way into Sunday. And then look at this big Arctic high building in. Just to show you temperature-wise, I'll throw the temperatures up. That is really cold air right there. I'll just show you real quickly. These are temperatures in the teens in the West Virginia mountains, and in the North Carolina mountains, upper teens as well. So that is pretty cold air. And on top of all that, we're going to see some snow. How much snow are we talking about? Well, let me see the snow depth here. And this is based on the model. Again, I think it's underdoing it because there's going to be northwest flow on the backside of this system, which is going to help enhance the flow. And it stays cold after next weekend, at least at night, that we're at least going to have the potential that we're going to be able to make snow at night. So you can see the potential is there for a big pattern change by next weekend, and kind of reassure us. You look at the GFS, North Atlantic Oscillation, and if you've never seen this before, we're looking for areas where this is below zero. And on the European, which is what you see there, there's a big dip late next week, and the GFS is showing the same thing on the Arctic Oscillation and the North Atlantic. These two oscillations, we want to see them negative. And between the two models and the two teleconnections, we call them, next week seems to be the time frame that we're going to see a pattern change for the eastern U.S. So good news is afoot. If you can just hold on to next week, I do think we'll see a pattern change, and there's signs that this change is going to reinforce itself going into Christmas. And then looking ahead to January, which I already am, it does look like the pattern is going to change a lot. Cold and snowier in the east, at least cold and snowier in the east compared to what we've seen in December. So keep your fingers crossed. Sorry for this weekend. It's golfing weather more than skiing weather, but by next weekend, I think we're going to be talking snow.